Welcome back. You've built a rock-solid foundation by mastering your first 7 letters. Today, we reach a major milestone. By adding just 6 new letters to your vocabulary, you will have the components needed to start reading real connected words. This chart categorizes our 6 new letters by 3 base shapes: flat sitters, deep swoopers, and wide bowls. A single base shape serves multiple letters. Adding a dot turns dull into dull and ra into za. This diagram of the line roll solves the lookalike trap. Dull can look like ra, but their identity is tied to gravity. The dull family sits flat on the line, like a box. The ra family acts like a slide, sinking below it. Mastering the relationship between these shapes and the writing line lets you distinguish their identities instantly. You must decode the physical placement of the letter before you even attempt to pronounce it. Here in this table, showing our vocal mechanics, we have specific instructions to help you avoid Anglo-centric pronunciation habits. For dal, keep the vowel sound flat and light at the front of your mouth, so it rhymes exactly with the English word pal. Do not say doll. For ra, we must avoid the hard, flat American R. Instead, use a light tapped tongue, exactly like the R in the Spanish word pero. Let's look at the row for dal. This letter is often mispronounced as a standard D. It requires a vibrating, buzzing TH sound, exactly like the English words this or that. This visual guide outlines our 3 short vowels, the harakat, which give our consonants their voice. Fatha is a diagonal dash above the letter, creating a short, crisp a. Kasra sits below the letter and makes a short, smiling sound, exactly like the short vowel in the English word sit or hit. Finally, Damma is the tiny loop on top making a short U sound, like put. This phonetic grid combines our 6 new letters with each short vowel. As we read through these, keep the vowel sounds crisp and short. Do not stretch them out. For dal, it is da, di, do. For Sheen, we read sa, si, su. Nailing these precise microsounds takes practice. Mastering this rhythm unlocks a natural, effortless reading flow. This infographic outlines the joinery rules for how our letters behave in a word. Arabic script flows and connects from right to left. As we link these shapes together, they fall into 2 behavioral categories: the stubborn one-way letters and the friendly letters. With the one-way letters, dal, val, ra, and za, we see their stubborn nature. They accept an incoming connection from the right, but act as a physical wall, refusing to connect to the left, forcing a break before the next letter begins. Look at this visual demonstrating our friendly letters, seen and sheen. To stretch out on the line and connect to their left neighbor, they must structurally adapt by losing their deep, sweeping bowls and flattening out to form a bridge. In this analysis of the word dar, meaning house, we see what happens in a sequence of one-way letters. We have dal, alif, and ra. Dal refuses left connection. Alif refuses left connection. The links fail to fuse, leaving all 3 letters completely isolated. Let's look at the word Assad, meaning lion. It uses alif, seen, and dal. Alif is a one-way letter, so it refuses connection. Seen starts fresh. But because seen is friendly, it loses its bowl, flattens into a bridge, and connects to the final dal. These distinct behavioral patterns explain why connected Arabic words look different than simple isolated letters. We are now going to apply these roles to a more complex structure to prove you can decode real architectural logic. The word Zujaaj, meaning glass. Tracing from right to left, we start with za with a Damma vowel, making the short sound zu. Za is a one-way letter, so it forces a break. The next letter, jim with a fatha, makes a ja sound. It starts fresh and connects to the left into alif. Alif forces another break. This leaves our final jim cut off, sitting entirely alone at the end in its full isolated form. This matrix is your master guide. Notice how the stubborn letters barely change across different positions, while the friendly letters flatten out to build bridges. Take a screenshot of this. I want you to practice drafting these geometric structures on lined paper while speaking the harakat sounds out loud. The foundation is set. By combining these base shapes, crisp vowels, and connection rules, you have the tools to decode real words. You are now applying these mechanics to read the Arabic language directly. Keep practicing. As a beginner looking at this reference graphic, it is incredibly easy to fall into the lookalike trap. The letter Dal looks almost identical to Ra. Add a dot, and Dal becomes completely indistinguishable from Za. If you guess the shape wrong, you will mispronounce the word. This diagram of the line rule shows how each shape interacts with the writing line. The Dal family sits perfectly flat on the surface, like a box. The Ra family swoops deeply below it, like a playground slide. Dal sits flat, Ra swoops down. Before you can even think about where to place your tongue, you have to accurately read the spatial cues on the page. Recognizing a letter's precise geometry is what allows you to trigger the correct vocal mechanics. This slide categorizes the next 6 letters of the alphabet, revealing an elegant architectural framework. We get 6 distinct sounds, but they are constructed from only 3 base materials: the flat sitters, the deep swoopers, and the wide bowls. The distinction comes purely from the addition of dots. This table details exactly how to shape those sounds in your mouth. Looking at the flat sitters, the undotted Dal produces a crisp, soft D that rhymes with pal or how. But when you add a dot to create Dhal, you shift your tongue placement. You gently place the tip of your tongue between your teeth to create a vibrating, buzzing TH sound, exactly like the beginning of the word this. Moving down to the deep swoopers, the undotted Ra require you to tap your tongue against the roof of your mouth. It produces a lightly rolled R, matching the Spanish word pero, rather than a flat American R. Add a dot to get za, and the sound becomes a sharp, buzzing Z, like in zoo. Finally, the wide bowls at the bottom give us Seen and Sheen. The undotted Seen creates a pure, airy S with no whistling. But when we crown that same shape with 3 dots, the sound transforms into a soft, full sh, imitating the sound of falling rain. Every dot on these shapes acts as a mechanical switch, commanding you to shift your tongue and teeth to produce a different phoneme. This slide illustrates the Harakat, the tiny architectural symbols that sit above or below the letters. These symbols assign the specific A, I, or U sounds needed to vocalize the consonants. Let's look at the first symbol, the Fatha. It's a small diagonal dash sitting directly above the letter. To pronounce it, you separate the T and the H. You say fat, take a microscopic pause, and finish with a sharp exhale, ha. Together, it creates a short, crisp A sound. Underneath the letter, we find the Kasra. When explaining this to students, we avoid any comparison to the English word I. Instead, the Kasra makes a short, smiling I or E sound, matching the vowel in the English word sit. The third vowel is the Damma. It looks like a tiny loop above the letter and generates a short or U sound, exactly like the vowel you hear in put or flute. The golden rule for all 3 of these short vowels is laid out clearly at the bottom of this phonetic grid. Keep the sounds crisp and short. Say da, di, do quickly. Do not stretch them out. Mastering the sharp, precise execution of these 3 symbols provides the phonetic instructions needed to turn a silent shape into a syllable. Arabic script flows continuously from right to left, requiring letters to physically alter their shapes to connect. As this graphic of the joinery rules shows, how a letter adapts depends entirely on whether it belongs to the one-way category or the friendly category. Look at this diagram of Dal. It is a stubbornly one-way letter, along with Dhal, Ra, and Za. It will happily grab the hand of a letter approaching from the right, but it completely refuses to connect to anything on its left. This refusal forces a physical break in the word before the next letter begins. Compare that to the friendly letters like Seen and Sheen. This visual demonstrates how Seen structurally sacrifices its deep, sweeping bowl, flattening out across the line to form a bridge. This allows it to stretch out and hold hands with neighbors on both sides. Whether a letter builds a bridge or constructs a wall, its connection personality dictates the physical architecture of every word you read. Now we put the entire system to work. We have the base shapes, short vowels, and connection rules. Let's assemble a real word. This section breaks down the construction of the word Jaras, meaning bell. Reading from right to left, we start with the letter Jim, followed by Ra, and ending with Seen. Tracing the joinery, The jim smoothly connects to the right side of the ra. But ra is one of our stubborn one-way letters. It flat out refuses to connect to the seen on its left, creating a clear physical gap in the text. Because of ra's refusal, the final letter, seen, has nothing to attach to. It is forced to sit completely isolated at the end of the word, retaining its full, wide bowl shape instead of flattening out. We vocalize the word by applying our Fatha vowel to each consonant, combining the distinct tongue placements with that crisp ah sound to get Jaras. Arabic text follows a predictable, logical architecture. When you align spatial physics with these mouth mechanics, written shapes translate into clear, readable speech. Welcome back to Learn Arabic, Read Quran. You have already put in the work to master the first 7 letters. Today is the day that effort pays off. By the end of this lesson, you will transition from reading isolated letters to reading fully connected Arabic words. This is our target. By the end of this video, you will decode, pronounce, and understand the structural logic of this word, Zujaj, the Arabic word for glass. Go ahead and grab a pen and some lined paper. To reach this milestone, we only need to add these 6 specific new letter shapes to your vocabulary: Dal, Dhal, Ra, Za, Seen, and Sheen. Mastering the geometry of these 6 shapes provides the structural framework you need to navigate real Arabic text. Let's build them. This chart shows how Arabic script relies on an efficient architectural system. A single base shape serves multiple letters. It is the placement of dots that changes the identity of the letter. We can group these 6 new letters into 3 distinct physical categories: the flat sitters, the deep swoopers, and the wide bowls. To tell them apart, use the line rule. Dal sits flat on the surface, like a box. Ra acts like a slide, sinking below it. Notice the lookalike trap on the right. If you do not observe the writing line, Dal looks identical to Ra. Developing spatial awareness of exactly where a letter sits on the writing line is your most effective defense against misreading similar Arabic letters. Now we need to give these physical shapes a voice. In Arabic, letters act as consonants. To give them an A, I, or U sound, we apply symbols called harakat, or short vowels, that sit directly above or below the letter. This diagram outlines the 3 marks you will use. A Fatha is a dash placed above the letter. A Kasra is a dash placed beneath the letter. And a Damma is a tiny loop sitting above the letter. Let's review these sounds. Dal must rhyme with pal or hal. Dhal requires a vibrating th sound, like that. For Ra, use a lightly tapped R, like the Spanish word pero. And a Kasra makes a short I sound, like sit, never I. Look over this grid. When you read these syllables, the, di, do, keep the vowel sounds extremely quick. Say them sharply. Try not to stretch the vowel sounds out. Mastering these specific vocal mechanics is what separates clear, accurate Arabic reading from speech that is difficult to understand. You have the shapes and the sounds. Now we connect them. Arabic is written from right to left, and a letter's shape changes depending on whether it joins with its neighbor. This illustrates the stubborn, one-way letters, Dal, Dhal, Ra, and Za. They accept incoming connections from the right, but refuse to connect to the left. Notice the red line. This forced physical break means their isolated shapes barely change in a connected word. Compare that to the friendly letters, Seen and Sheen. Watch as the letter Seen adapts. It loses its deep, sweeping bowl, flattening out onto the line to form a bridge so it can connect to the next letter on its left. Categorizing every new letter as either stubborn or friendly provides a consistent explanation for how any Arabic word is constructed. Let's decode Zujaaj from right to left. First, Za with a Damma vowel, Zu, is stubborn, forcing a break. Next, Jim with a Fatha, Ja, connects left. Alif accepts this, but stubbornly refuses to connect left, leaving the final Jim isolated. By analyzing gravity, sound, and connection types, you have successfully reverse-engineered the logic of your first complex Arabic word. Look at what you have achieved. You have moved past isolated characters and can now decode the logic of real Arabic script. Here are 5 examples. Scan across them from right to left. Use your ability to spot the structural breaks and the flattened bridges in words like Assad and Jaras. Your homework is simple. Take your lined paper and practice drafting these geometric structures. As you write them, speak the short vowel sounds aloud. Mastering this combination of shapes and joinery rules provides the foundational blueprint for the entire language. Keep practicing, and I will see you in the next lesson.